You ever feel like tennis was starting to repeat itself? Same baseline rallies, same patterns, same faces grinding for the same wins. Then came Carlos Alcaraz, and suddenly it felt like the sport woke up again. Every point he plays looks like an experiment. Every match feels like a movie. And here's the crazy part. It's not just about talent anymore. Because the Alcaraz of 2023, that explosive, unstoppable, highlight machine kid, isn't the same guy who's dominating in 2025. This version, he's colder. He's calculated. He's a strategist who learned that chaos can be controlled. People said tennis was getting boring. Then Alcaraz happened twice. In 2023, Alcaraz was chaos in human form. He'd dive for volleys, hit drop shots from the baseline, and play like every rally was a TikTok clip waiting to happen. That energy made him unmissable, but it also made him unstable. He'd lose matches not because his opponents outplayed him, but because he ran out of patience. Fast forward to 2025, and you see something completely different. He's not trying to win every point anymore. He's trying to build them. Now, he's setting traps, like he's drawing players in with those teasing short balls, and finishing them with surgical precision at the net. In 2023, he charged the net out of instinct. In 2025, he approaches it with a plan. You can see the difference in his numbers too. In 2023, he averaged 14 to 15 net approaches per match. Now, over 26 per match. And he's winning nearly 75% of those points. That's not luck. That's evolution. Even his serve tells the story. He used to rely on pure speed, 125, 130 miles per hour, trying to blast through opponents. Now, he's mixing up spin, angles, and disguise. First serves at 118 miles per hour wide, second serves with heavy kick, everything designed to set up his first forehand. He's become a chess player who used to be a street fighter. Here's the part nobody saw coming, the emotional growth. Back in 2023, Alcaraz was like a live wire. He'd roar after every point, sprint back to the baseline, feed off the chaos. It was thrilling, but fragile. When the adrenaline faded, he'd start missing. That's how Djokovic beat him in that Cincinnati 2023 war. That's how Sinner outlasted him in Beijing, because emotional tennis burns bright and then burns out. But this 2025 Alcaraz, he's patient. He plays like a man who trusts time. He said it best after his win in Shanghai, "I don't need to hit harder, I need to think faster," and that's exactly what separates him now. He's still intense, still emotional, but in control. It's like he learned to weaponize calm. His coach Juan Carlos Ferrero said, "Carlos used to play like a storm. Now he plays like the weather, always changing but never chaotic." That's poetic, but also true. The difference between a highlight player and a history maker is this: emotional management. Let's talk about what actually changed on the court. You can see it in how he constructs points. 2023 Alcaraz equals explosive baseline strikes. 2025 Alcaraz tempo control. He now opens rallies with loopy topspin forehands, pushes opponents back, then sneaks in that feathered drop shot. Not for flair, but for disruption. He's built an entire rhythm around unpredictability. In short points, he's still deadly. 0 to 4 shot rallies, he wins 58% of them. But in long rallies, the ones that used to drain him, he's winning more than 52% now. That's balance. He's no longer trying to out-hit players like Sinner or Medvedev. He's trying to out-evolve them. Even Djokovic said recently, "What's impressive about Carlos is not his power. It's how fast he's learning what used to take us years." And that's what makes him so terrifying, because every season, he's not just improving, he's reinventing. You can't talk about Alcaraz without talking about Sinner. They're the sport's yin and yang. Sinner's clean, efficient, rhythm-based tennis represents perfection. Alcaraz's unpredictable, high-risk game represents innovation. But here's what's fascinating. Alcaraz started adopting some of Sinner's discipline, while Sinner started stealing bits of Alcaraz's aggression. They're literally shaping each other's evolution. When they met at the 2025 Indian Wells final, it wasn't just a match, it was two philosophies colliding. Sinner, calm and surgical. Alcaraz, unpredictable but strategic. And when Alcaraz won that match, it wasn't because he overpowered Sinner, it's because he outthought him. He played shorter rallies, pulled Sinner off the baseline, and used the slice to drag him out of rhythm. That's not chaos anymore, that's mastery. It's funny, these fans used to say Alcaraz played highlight tennis. Now they say Sinner plays efficient tennis. But you know who wins crowds? Alcaraz. Every single time. Because you can teach discipline, but you can't fake charisma. So here's the bigger question. Is Alcaraz reinventing the modern baseline game, or just having a hot run? Here's the truth. Both can be true. He's not playing like the old Federer or Nadal. He's not even copying Djokovic. He's blending all of them, then remixing the formula. From Federer, he took the artistry, the touch at net. From Nadal, the intensity, the weight behind every ball. From Djokovic, the discipline, the mind. And then he made something we haven't seen before. A hybrid player who can switch between beauty and brutality at will. It's why analysts call him the first true Gen Z champion. Because he doesn't believe in staying in one lane. He's not either or, he's everything at once. He can play like Federer on Monday, Nadal on Wednesday, and Djokovic on Sunday, and yet somehow it's all still Alcaraz. That's why fans call him a remix of tennis history. He's not just changing the game, he's changing how players think about playing the game. Here's how I see it. You can argue about stats all you want. You can say Sinner's more consistent or Djokovic still the GOAT, fair. But when you watch Alcaraz play, you remember why you started loving tennis in the first place. You don't watch him for the numbers, you watch him for the moments. That split-second drop shot, that fearless forehand down the line, that smile after losing a point. And like he's already planning the next one. That's what the sport was missing. Joy, creativity, unpredictability. He's not saving tennis, he's reminding it what it's supposed to feel like. Because tennis was getting a little too perfect, too robotic, too optimized, and Alcaraz brought back the imperfection that makes it human. He's not flawless, he's alive, and that's why tennis isn't boring anymore, because somewhere on the baseline, Carlos Alcaraz is grinning, thinking about the next impossible shot.